Welcome to Melbourne, the capital of Victoria in Australia. You're with Jonathan and Jennifer on Well Traveled Life. If you look at a map, Melbourne looks like it is South Australia. In fact, it looks very South Australia. But the state of South Australia is actually a little bit further to the west. And this is the state of Victoria, and Melbourne is the capital. The Port of Melbourne is the busiest seaport in Australia. Hence, you're going to find that your ship probably docks way out on a pier and you're going to need to walk in. Don't let that scare you. This is definitely a port you want to get off the ship and get into town. When you get off the ship, there's a beach directly off the port, and there is a small town. It's a port city that you can enjoy walking around, and you'll find lots of shops and cafes and little pubs and bars and restaurants. But if you want to get into the CBD or the heart of downtown Melbourne, there's a couple of different ways to do it. There are taxis, although I didn't find them as accessible as you might expect. What's really easy to do is take the tram into the CBD. There's a little bit of a system that you kind of need to figure out to get there. There's a tram station right at the port, so that part is easy. You walk to it and there's signage that will get you there. At the tram station, you need to buy a card, and what you're going to see in here is the Mikey card, and that's how you say that, Mikey, M-Y-K-I. You're going to purchase a Mikey card at the outdoor kiosk right there at the station. You can buy it with a credit card, and then you're going to top up and put some money on it. That will get you into the CBD. There is a free zone in the city center of Melbourne, and the free zone is called the green zone. Once you get on the tram, you're going to just hold that Mikey card up to the digital reader machine on the tram, and that's how you'll use the money that you've topped up on your card. We should warn you that if you are traveling as soon as the ship arrives or close to the time that the ship is leaving, those trams are going to be really full. There's a whole lot of cruise passengers trying to get into town, so you may want to plan around that a little bit. Depending on where you're going in Melbourne will depend on which zones you need. Most of the things you're going to probably want to do will be in zones 1 and 2. And if you put $10 on your Mikey card, that will get you free time within zone 1 and 2 unlimited. So Melbourne has so many top attractions, and it's everything from the Sea Life Melbourne Aquarium, the Melbourne Zoo, multiple museums and galleries. But let's talk about a few individual kind of interesting things. The Opt Museum, which is sort of the Aussie version of Ellis Island, it's their immigration museum. You have Captain Cook's house. This home was actually brought from Yorkshire to Victoria, rebuilt by a philanthropist, including ivy from the original home in England. You have a fire service museum, which is only open on Sundays and has tours that are led by volunteer guides. We are from Temple, Texas, and we found our way to the Temple Brewing Company, who opened specifically for our group and allowed us to come in and smell hops and taste beers and buy shirts. You have the Old Melbourne Jail, which has housed everything from naughty children to convicted murderers. Ned Kelly was hanged at the gallows, and it has been one of the most feared places since its opening in 1845. You have the Coops Shot Tower. This is really kind of fascinating. This is where they would take molten lead and drop it from the top of the tower into a pond below, instantly creating pellets. And it's located in the Melbourne Central Shopping Mall. If you're there anytime around Christmas, which we were, you want to make sure and stop by and see the Myers Christmas windows. Lots and lots of great decoration there, and it is always interesting to see Christmas in a tropical climate, because remember, Melbourne is in Australia's southern hemisphere, and their seasons are the opposite for North Americans and Europeans. The State Library is also a landmark not to be missed. The Yarra River, where there's an outdoor walk, the Queen Victoria Market, which is an open-air market with over 10 million visitors annually. It is closed on Mondays though, so watch the day that you're there. The Melbourne Sky Deck on the 88th floor of the Eureka Tower. It's open from noon to 10 p.m. so you can get great daytime views as well as nighttime views. You do need to pay $28 to get up there, but you could go to Bar 88 or Eureka 89, which is a restaurant. St. Kilda is a beach suburb, and then you've got Luna Park, which is a really interesting 1913 amusement park. The city of Melbourne covers a lot of area, so we'll go ahead and show you where some of these things are on the map so that you have a sense of where to go. Starting at the southeast, you have Luna Park and St. Kilda Beach. Within the CBD, there are a number of attractions, including the Fire Service Museum, Queen Victoria Market, the Shot Factory and the Mall, the State Library, the Old Melbourne Jail, Cook's Cottage, which is in a botanic garden area, and the Immigration Museum. Across the river is the Eureka Tower, and then up north is the Temple Brewing Company. So lots to see and do right there to get off the boat in Docklands. And even more if you get out into the city. If you're only in Melbourne for a day, there's plenty to do at the port and in the city. It will keep you busy. But if you have more time, we invite you to watch our next video, which takes Melbourne a step outside the city and gives you a sense of what you can do with just a little more time and a little more distance. We'll see you on the Great Ocean Road.